Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. As FBI Director Chris Wray was testifying before Congress yesterday, a whistleblower report on his $10 billion agency was delivered to the House Judiciary Committee. The report revealed that the FBI has turned into a cult of narcissism. It makes sense. Solving crimes is hard, but checking yourself out in the mirror, that's a full-time job. They also found that local law enforcement have developed a disturbing loss of trust in the FBI and are now reluctant to share information with them. What, just because you don't want your grandma's church choir under surveillance? There is also a belief that the FBI has been contaminated by a partisan political agenda. What? Where would they ever get that idea? The FBI has lowered standards to the point where they hire people that are physically unfit, mentally ill, and drug-taking. Well, at least they're now well prepared for the next Portland protest. The report also says that relationships between local cops and the FBI are imploding. If only the FBI could apply the same level of destruction to actual crime. So right now, the FBI is like a selfie-taking, social media-obsessed teenager, only with a gun and a badge. You know what would fix that bratty teenager? More money. Last night, President Biden addressed the nation to explain why he dropped out of the presidential race.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office.
For those of you who are confused, yes, he is now orange.
When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth.
Just remember, it's not a lie if you don't have the mental capacity to understand the truth.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
And by I've decided, he meant Nancy decided.
And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it.
Fact check on that. Biden already cured cancer.
I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform, because this is critical to our democracy.
The best thing for our country would be to get rid of that pesky judicial branch.
We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors.
We beat Big Pharma, all right. It was hard to make them take those billions in COVID money, but we held them down and we just made them take it.
Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low.
There is a small town in Wyoming where this is actually true, so, he's not lying.
We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
Well, do you remember that stuff about you telling the truth from just 3 minutes ago?
I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world.
All right, so we're just giving up on telling the truth then. It appears that he dropped out of the presidential race because he is the best president ever and probably the best leader in the entire galaxy. On Wednesday, 4 Russian and Chinese bombers were intercepted while they were flying near Alaska over international airspace. Here's a video taken from the Russian aircraft where you can see the US and Canadian fighters intercepting the Russian and Chinese planes. You know things are getting serious when the Canadians get involved. Those guys usually only scramble for a hockey game. This is the first time Russian and Chinese aircraft have been intercepted while working together. Isn't it great that Biden's foreign policy has managed to unite our enemies against us? And it's a good thing they're not both big superpowers or we'd be in trouble. Seriously though, if Russia and China get any closer, we might have to dust off those old Cold War era bomb shelters. Or, just move to the moon. In a galaxy far, far away, Disney's lawyers just got a reality check. A judge has denied Disney's attempt to dismiss Gina Carano's lawsuit against them. Carano, who was fired from her role in The Mandalorian, claims Disney terminated her due to her political views and treated her unfairly compared to her male co-stars. Disney argued that they had a right to separate their brand from Carano's beliefs under the First Amendment. With a dismissed motion denied, the case may now proceed to a full trial, including discovery, unless a settlement is reached. With Carano's lawsuit going to trial, Disney's going to have to put on quite a show. For their sake, I hope their courtroom performance is better than their last string of sequels. Nina Jankowicz, do you remember her? She was the Disinformation czar. she became infamous for her TikTok parody promoting censorship.
When a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet, so disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious.
She was appointed by President Biden to lead the DHS's Disinformation Board. You know, the board that sounds like it came straight out of George Orwell's 1984. She sued Fox News for defamation, but the case was dismissed on Monday. A judge in Delaware dismissed the lawsuit, ruling that statements she claimed were defamatory were materially true, or they were about the DHS's Disinformation Board. So Jankowicz sued Fox for saying she wanted to censor Americans. The judge tossed it out, basically saying, you can't sue someone for accurately describing your job. That's like suing someone for saying water is wet. Objection, Your Honor, it's damp at best. Or like the Hamburglar suing McDonald's for calling him a thief. I prefer the term burger enthusiast. Thank you very much. The 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris will officially start on Friday, July 26th, with the opening ceremony. They'll continue through Sunday, August 11th. Snoop Dogg is going to be a correspondent for the Olympics in Paris. He'll be one of the torchbearers at the opening ceremony. Let's just hope he doesn't light up the wrong kind of torch. He told reporters that he's been sliding into the practice facilities of different teams, and his commentary is going to be a little bit more insightful because he spent time with the athletes. All of us know Snoop Dogg is known for his love and close relationship with grass, but he's not a professional lawnmower. Snoop Dogg is an Olympic correspondent. Sounds like a great idea, unless the athletes might have random drug tests. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.